Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is one of those games that comes around once in a while and wows everyone with its graphics. This game's worth checking out just because of the graphics alone. Pandora is beautiful open world setting that comes to life with dense vegetation, mysterious plants, and wildlife. And it's not simply just copy-pasting the same setting over and over into this large open world. Traveling from one biome to the next brings with it new things to see. I was constantly in awe while taking in Pandora's scenery. It all comes together with a full day and night cycle and some of the best rain and storm effects I've seen. The night also brings with it a new otherworldly visual appeal. And the gameplay isn't bad. It's a first-person shooter, open world action adventure. Think Far Cry, that's what Avatar is most like. The game also has all the quality of life features that are now standard with all Ubisoft titles. There's cross-platform play, including being able to play co-op with your buddies. There's also cross-platform saves, so I can play at home on a PS5 and pick up where I left off on my Rogue Ally or Steam Deck. Now the main reason you all clicked is to see how good this game looks and runs on the Series S versus Series X versus PlayStation 5. So let's get started. The game's 78 gigabytes on the Series S and X and about 81 gigabytes on the PlayStation 5. I tested the loading times. Continuing your game from dashboard is significantly faster on PS5, taking only 32 seconds. Xbox is slower, 55 seconds on the Series X and 59 seconds on the Series S. Quick resume is sort of the Xbox's secret sauce. As expected, it's much faster than activity cards. 11 seconds on the Series S and 14 seconds on the X. Activity cards, in fact, don't seem to be saving any time, except you don't have to manually click the continue button. And then there's fast travel, which is faster on PlayStation 5, taking only 7 seconds. The Series X takes 10 seconds and the Series S takes 12 seconds. Once you're actually in the game, there isn't too much loading. Everything is pretty much instant. Let's now talk about the graphics and resolution. All three consoles have quality mode, which is locked to 30 FPS. In fact, it's the only mode available on Series S. We got 1440p dynamic on Series S and 4K dynamic on the Series X and PS5. Now there's a lot of FSR2 scaling going on here, so expect as low as 900p on the Series S and perhaps 1440p on the Series X and PS5. Series S is also running at lower graphic detail, so lower shadows, lower lighting quality. Both the PlayStation 5 and Series X also have performance mode, which bumps the frame rate to 60 but does lower the resolution and graphics. You can clearly see the comparison between quality mode and performance mode here. The drop in resolution and graphics quality. A similar drop is going to happen also on the Series X when going from quality to performance mode. In performance mode, both consoles now target 1440p dynamic. With FSR2, you can expect things to get around 1080p. Now, one thing I wanted to compare was the 30 FPS Series S footage and the 60 FPS performance mode on the Series X. In other recent games like Alan Wake 2 and RoboCop, the Series X and PlayStation 5 performance mode looks identical to the 30 FPS Series S footage. However, for this game, there's a clear difference. The Series S at 30 FPS is worse looking than the 60 FPS Series X and PS5 performance mode. You can see here it's lower resolution, lower graphics settings. So stop asking for a 60 FPS mode for this game on the Series S. I don't think it's gonna work unless you want like 500p resolution. Now let's talk about the performance, starting with quality mode. All three consoles perform well in quality mode. There's only minor drops to 29 FPS. The issue is actually due to some screen tearing, especially on the Series X and PS5. The screen tearing isn't that bad on the Series S actually, so I guess it performs slightly better in this 30 FPS mode, but as I said before, the FSR2 resolution scaling is a lot more aggressive on the Series S. Performance mode on Series X and PS5 is where the issues start with significant frame rate drops. Once again, there's screen tearing. everything. But in performance mode, there's a lot more. The frame rate drops are significant on both consoles into the low 50s and even 40s in the odd time. Now I can show you scenarios where the PS5 shows a lower number and scenarios where the Series X shows a lower number, but honestly the best measure of performance is how well each one does with a large enough sample size, and from the footage I analyzed, they're both equally as bad. You can expect lots of drops and screen tearing, especially during intense firefights. It's a shame because that's really the time when you need the game to be at its best for a first-person shooter. With that said, the performance here isn't the worst I've seen. Hey, the game's environments are a lot better looking than Starfield, and we get performance mode that targets 60 FPS, so I wouldn't let the drop stop you from buying this game. They honestly are not game-breaking, and maybe the performance will get fixed in future patches, or maybe Sony and Microsoft need to give us a PS5 Pro and an Xbox Series X Elite. It's about time with Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out in 2025.
It is soundproof, Priya.
Sorry, filter got stuck. Jin thinks he's got it figured out now. Oh my gosh, another one. I am so glad you're here since, there's so few of you left. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Welcome to Resistance HQ. Soldiers.
Where are they? Keep it together. The hell? There. Could be word. Well, he's pretty dead now. Get over here! You're not gonna pin me down!